I bought a bunch of new stuff for the studio, so I'm gonna show you all what I got today. So first up, I bought this old monitor off eBay. It's all green, which I thought was pretty cool. Then I have these Panasonic rack mount monitors. These are black and white. I bought a video synth from Taycons Plus. Then I bought this 27-inch Sony CRT Trinitron off Facebook Marketplace. This was actually a lot heavier than I thought. And over here, I bought a vector scope. I'm not too familiar with vector scopes, but I do know that they react to video waves from the camera. Then I have these two 9-inch color monitors. I'm waiting on a third one to come in. These right here are all black and white. I've been trying to find some color monitors that are the same size, so I'm glad I got these. I'm gonna go ahead and show you how everything looks turned on. One of my favorite game franchises is Fallout, and I feel like this monitor specifically reminds me of the Fallout terminals. Then these are the black and white monitors that I was talking about. This is a video synth that I was talking about. So by turning these knobs, it does different effects. So this is my video synth. Pretty cool. These are the color monitors that I bought. Really love how these look. It does a lot of cool effects. Maybe somebody in the comments can tell me like how I should go about using this, but for the time being, I just think it produces cool visuals. So as y'all can tell, the main component of my studio is this TV wall that consists of 30 CRT TVs and a lot of new equipment that I just bought, like this, and then these monitors here are a part of my extra inventory. I'm trying to figure out the best possible way to rent it out or make some type of passive income from it, because right now it's just sitting here, and I might use it here and there just to like test stuff out, but my goal right now is to make money from just the TVs that are here. I rent the studio out for people who want to like do their own projects on the installation itself. So that's been pretty good, but yeah. I also went ahead and made these pitch decks. Pretty much just breaks down everything I've done for the studio, my skill set, who I am, what the studio looks like at night, some of my favorite projects that I've done around the studio, external builds, something I did for Nike, then something I did for the actual launch of my studio, just other custom TV installations. And then the Forever Almighty mood board, which is honestly one of my favorite sections of this pitch deck. So my goal right now with these is to pitch my studio to different brands, restaurants, and businesses that I feel like I could work with. So by making this pitch deck, I felt like people could see exactly what it is that I do and how I could work with their business. I went downstairs to Rivian and I gave them my pitch deck, and I have a meeting with them on Thursday. So hopefully I can build a TV installation in their space, which would be really cool. But yeah, for the most part, I'm just going to different businesses and different storefronts, pitching my studio concept and showing everything that I've done with my brand. And I'm going to try to find new clients like that. All right, so I got the terminal video playing in this section right here. I think this looks really nice. It genuinely reminds me of Fallout. And I'm working on making this corner look better too. So I feel like stuff like this, the plants, the stuff on the wall, skateboards on the rug, and my friend's plants to really add to the detail in this area. I came outside today to start pitching my creative studio to different businesses. So I went to Buckhead Fine Art and Buckhead Village. I got 2 contact emails from both places. The goal is just to to pitch my creative studio services to different spots. And it's kind of one of those things where it's like, I know I'm sitting on $1 million idea. I've just been working on getting this seen more. Cause like it does good on social media, but sometimes social media doesn't really translate well to reality. So I need more people in real life to know that like, oh, this guy does TV installations. He does, he tells stories with TVs and stuff like that. My goal for this week was to get in front of a couple different businesses. I think I'm at 2 or 3 right now. So I'm going to go back over to Ponce and see what people I can get in front of over there. I did an interview yesterday for my friend's mental health podcast. One of the questions she asked me was like, how did you feel when you left your job? Or like, how were you able to leave your job? So I wanted to take this time while I'm in the car to just go over like how I actually was able to quit and just how I felt about it. So the first step of the process was just like to convince myself that I could do it, that I didn't need the job. Everything started from inside. I was getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning listening to Kanye West, Can't Tell Me Nothing. Just like telling myself like, yo, like I'm a boss. Like I don't have an employee mindset. And then, my shift was 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. So by 4:30, I'm sitting inside of 40-degree water doing a cold plunge. When I got out of work, I would go try a trick that like made me uncomfortable, or like I tried a trick that was kind of hard for me. The reason that I was doing all of this stuff is because I had to tell myself that like, yo, like I know that I can do it, but I'm not gonna let fear hold me back from what I know I can do. So those are the first 3 things that I started doing. Once I started identifying as somebody who didn't need to go to work, as somebody who had a boss mentality, as somebody who could get stuff done, I started moving different. I'm very appreciative of that job. Like, it taught me a lot. It taught me sacrifice. It taught me discipline. It taught me, like, just how to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And I think the biggest takeaway is that, like, as much as I didn't want to work that job, sitting up wishing that it was different wasn't going to change my circumstance. Like, I had to legit figure out, like, okay, what do I need to change, or what do I need to do within myself and my business to get up out of this situation? And taking on that challenge was a lot, but the rewards were so high that, like, now I'm able to sustain myself after quitting, you know? And people have asked me, like, you know, were you scared? How did you feel about it? And the answer is no. I wasn't scared in the slightest. I had all bets on me. What's funny about the whole thing is that a week before I quit, or like 2 weeks before I quit, I didn't have any jobs lined up, no prospects, nothing. I was just moving on faith. And my manager was like, yo, I'll let you stay on for like a day or 2 out of the week, you know, because, you know, like, as humans, we kind of feel the need to jump all in with stuff, and I don't necessarily think that might be the best thing for you to do right now, or something to that effect. And I was like, you know, on the one hand, he is trying to look out for me, but on the other hand, I had to ask myself, like, you are about to do what's best for you. Are you really gonna let somebody try to persuade you not to do that? And I said no. And since I said no, a week after I left, I got hit up to do the biggest job of my career so far with my TVs. I did this TV installation for a Nike basketball tournament. And it's like, had I not gone with my gut, would I have made it out there to do that event? I don't know. I wholeheartedly feel like that event was me being rewarded from the universe by just trusting the process and just trusting myself, because everything wasn't all there, truthfully, but I had enough faith that it was gonna work out, and it did, you know? So the moral of the story is, like, I just wasn't about to let anything or anybody get in the way of what I needed to do. You know, I love that job, I love the people there, but just with me being an entrepreneur my whole life, I just knew that I was destined for more. And I realized that I was in a loop, like, just getting up, working every day, like 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. My life was just a loop. I had to accept the fact that, like, all right, bruh, this is your situation. What are you gonna do about it? Because sitting up complaining, crying about it is not gonna do nothing. So once I stopped wishing things were different, I locked in and I started just playing the game. Every aspect of playing the game, I played it. And I made it out. I beat that level of the game in life. And now that I'm here, I'm on a new journey. But it's like everything that I went through in the last level prepared me for this one, you know? So the aspect of staying down with intent and sacrifice, it is so crucial, and I understand it. So, you know, even when I quit, like, I'm still out here every day trying to get to it, and just making sure that people know that I'm alive, and just making sure that people are seeing my work. The way I see it is, I'm either do the work for myself and live for myself, or go work for somebody who took that chance on themselves. It's only one way that it's gonna go. It's kind of hard to do both. I was doing both, but I knew when to stop that cycle. And it's never gonna be a perfect time. I had to make the time perfect. Had I not had enough courage and faith in myself to quit, I would still be at a job right now. I really would be. But, like, when you know that you just destined for more, your body, like, it's like your mind or your higher self just does not let you quit or settle. And I just don't settle for nothing. I entered a flow state because I knew that I was dealing with a serious challenge. While it was serious, I realized that I'm like, yo, like, a lot of these problems are kind of in my head. Like, I could easily stop. That was a version of myself that I know is a millionaire. Like, it's almost like I caught a glimpse of myself in the future that I tapped into. It kind of reminded me of, like, Aang in the Avatar state. He be trying, he was like that. But it was some times where, like, he just couldn't do it without the Avatar state. So, bro, really locked in. And, so I kind of felt like I tapped into my version of the Avatar state. So, fast forward to today, studio's doing good. We out around town just, like, trying to spread the word. Almighty Zion, forever almighty. I'm a filmmaker. I got a creative studio. I build custom TV installations and stuff like that. I tell stories. So that's what we out here doing today. And we got to it early. It's only 2 o'clock. There's no traffic. So we gonna go hit a couple more, spots on the belt line and just see what's up.